for a little bit longer.
Okay, we got a special guest.
Oh shoot! Look at we got a dialer. Um,
Hey. Hey, long time listener, first time caller. How you guys
but,
doing?
oh, yeah, what is Ryan? Hola amigos de Pancho Villa's Army. Aquí el Sargento with not
El
G.
Coronel.
What?
Well, did I miss my cue? See, it's been that long that I haven't been on the podcast that I missed my cue.
Yeah, dude, you gotta pretend that you're just. You
Okay,
gotta have some enthusiasm, Coronel.
let me ask. Okay, let's do it again.
Take two. Hola amigos de Pancho Villa's Army. Aquí su Sargento along with.
El Coronel.
Okay, we'll keep that one.
Yeah,
By the time we're done, be like take five.
yeah, you can edit it. We'll do a tune. What's that tune? The
Like
tune voice.
like a Toontown,
No, no, no. The music that now they sing nowadays, they don't even sing. Auto tune. Auto tune.
Oh yeah, I can do that.
Yeah.
Auto tune, baby.
There you go.
There you go, man. I got you.
Sound
All
like
right,
a
man.
morning
Well,
radio show.
we're getting upgrades everywhere. Look at that.
Mhm.
First of all, I want to give a shout out to my boy. Oh my gosh, what's his name, dude? He hooked us up from Australia. It
Dan.
started Dan the
Dan.
man. He
Dan the man.
recognized this one gentleman who does a lot of the woodwork. Have you seen this
Mhm.
stuff? His work that he did. He did
Yes.
like the Chivas one right here for me.
Yep. Saw that.
But then he
Saw
did
that.
La Seleccion for me right here. Look at that.
That's awesome. You know,
Dude,
I'm kind of jealous. I wasn't even offered. I wasn't even mentioned. So I expect one with my face on it. That's what I want.
with your
That's a
face on it.
challenge.
That's
That's a
scary.
challenge.
That's scary,
Just,
man. I don't know.
just in
Uh,
time for Halloween.
I'm sure there's somebody out there with Coronet's face tattooed in their back though. I know there's some. Yeah. So it's Monk underscore FC. Monk, thank you again for the hookup there. That looks really nice. It's gonna be awesome. Just displaying it. I just put it there for now. It's gonna go somewhere. I don't know. I'm
Nice.
trying to figure out a place for it.
Nice.
Maybe Coronet's back.
I know. I have a perfect place for that. You
Oh
can cover up that hole in the wall that you went in through. That's perfect spot, bro.
damn, man. You're not gonna forgive me about that. And my
Oh
birthday
hell
was
no.
last month. Speaking of birthdays, G is not here
Oh
for us to sing happy birthday. She had another birthday recent or another birthday. Like we always have birthdays.
yes.
Happy birthday, G. Sorry you're not here. Hopefully you had a good time. I think she is older than you, Coronel, but doesn't look like it.
No, 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 not at all. I don't think anybody's older than me. Nobody. I'm taking the cake. Chabelo, and I'm next.
Have you seen those? People are messed up, bro.
Dude,
Where they're
people are
going,
jacked up. Oh
oh,
yeah.
dude,
No
what's up with
mames.
that gente? Los Mexicanos, like we just do the most outrageous thing, like the whole Mortal Kombat, Chavelo versus the queen that passed away, then Chavelo versus Betty White, and then he kept saying he's
Mhm.
winning, y finalmente se nos acabó Chavelo, man. No
Yeah,
más.
yeah. Too bad. No, no, estamos listos. Parece que no tenemos trabajo. I mean, de volada nomás algo pasa y salen los memes. I mean, right
¿Verdad?
away. The memes
Eh,
like literally minutes from an incident, any incident, they pop up. So I like
yeah,
to know what they actually do with their free time.
right? What they do with all that energy, but they put
Yes.
it into, oh my gosh, you don't wanna make a mess. You don't wanna mess up. That's why
Mm-hmm.
we're not Cornet, you're not on the Twitter, are you? All the time?
Mm-mm.
No?
I stay off the Twitter now because the Twitter has actually become just a platform for people just to complain.
Yeah.
People that are living in mama's basements and they just sit there and complain about everything, and obviously they know
Oh, they're
they have all
brutal,
the
bro.
answers. They have all the answers, and so
And
it's
they
just time to stay off.
and they're brutal. Speaking of that, let's go into a conversation. We got a couple things we want to talk about today. First of all, how do we see the first two matches this year for La Selección? What are we expecting for Phoenix, dude? Phoenix,
Mhm.
and guess what, Cornel? It's not happening in June. It's happening in April. That's
Yes,
milagro.
that's a milagro. So you know what that means? Tailgate weather.
Tailgate. What does that just mean? Tailgate
No,
weather.
I mean, dude, seriously, they decide. Siempre tienen los juegos aquí. Está haciendo un calorón.
See, and
Everybody wants a tailgate. And I'm like, dude, it's like 179.
I
We
know.
could do the tailgate. Nah, I don't know.
No,
And
but right,
so,
dude, the way I mean, let's not jinx it. I think we might jinx it by talking about it, but dude,
hmm
Arizona has been the envy of all the country, dude, because our weather's been gorgeous.
beautiful.
Let's
You can
keep
see my tan line right here. Farmer's tan, farmer's tan.
Farmer's 10. Got the just around his chest.
Yes, yes.
So the weather's gonna be awesome, but and
hmm
we're gonna then talk about the Vegas as well. What updates, what information we have for
hmm
the match there coming up against US and US. I mean
hmm
US all around.
Yep,
Okay.
absolutely.
Conan, what are your thoughts, dude? We saw 2 matches. What do you think? What are your thoughts so far? Is it too early to tell? ¿Qué piensas, man? Guess what are the circles saying around the Coronel circle?
Well, the circle is obviously everyone's frustrated, right? Everyone's thinking. My thought about it is it's too early. It's way too early to start passing judgment. Um, although in my personal opinion, I probably would have caught up a whole different batch of players because I think all these players, with all due respect, have kind of shown us what they've got or what they had or they never had, for so to speak, right? And
Yeah,
so I think with these particular games coming up, they had a chance to kind of uh, try out some new players. But being that it was an official game, you kind of don't want to, you don't want to risk it, right? So, which is why I'm excited about the Phoenix game because I think the Phoenix game is obviously going to have nothing but domestic players, young talent. They're going to try to throw everything that they can. This is if you got to give me game, this is one, right? This is it. And I'm expecting a different lineup, different result,
yeah,
more energy. But the past two games, again, we pretty much felt like we saw pretty much a lot of the same, right? A lot of the same, at least what I thought. About you, what about you, first of all? And the question I want to throw at you is a lot of the polemica, right? A lot of the players' responses to the fans, booing.
going.
Let's touch on that. Talk about that. What do you think about that?
Okay. First of all, say I'm with you. I think it's too early, but it's frustrating because it's like it's they just put a new coach. It's like I think of a package, right? You're getting a product, and they just put a new label on it, but it's the same product.
hmm
By the label, I'm talking about a coach, right? The
hmm
whole structure. But I think to your point, it's they don't want to. I mean, they just had to go with what right now for what's been working, or what they know can do. Which, to your point, no, they didn't. They didn't want to risk it, and they went with the same old, same old.
hmm
Um, yeah, I mean, first of all, Suriname, that should have been a blowout. And then, dude, how they were playing mano a mano a tu con Mexico for some of
hmm
that game. I was like, this is embarrassing.
hmm
Jamaica,
hmm
yeah, there was an autogol, but still, even if it was 2-1, Jamaica was still causing havoc, and still were times where it's like Mexico didn't seem like they were dominating like they should. So, no, not impressed. I'm looking forward to the U.S. Mexico game here in Phoenix. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what this coach does now. I bet he's supposedly scouting and checking out the players. So show us what you've been looking at, and create a team that can cause havoc to the US. Because right now, dude, I don't know what a lot of people have been saying that US is king right now, the CONCACAF, and it's hard for me to deny it right now because the
hmm
results,
Yeah,
and it
I mean,
hurts.
if you think about it, after the 2018 World Cup, the U.S. was in shambles, right? Was it
Yeah,
2018? Yeah, 2018. It was in
they didn't
shambles.
make
So it
the
was like
World Cup. Yeah, they didn't make
they
it.
didn't make the World Cup. It's like what's going to happen? And so it's kind of like we're in that spot right now, right?
Yeah,
We're in that spot right now. So I think every so often your teams tend to fall into that rebuilding stage at some point, right? We have to do that. But again, I think the mentality has to change. Again, we all have opinions, right? And everyone on Twitter has an opinion. Everyone's a coach, everyone's a manager, everyone's a directivo, everyone has the solutions, but yet we go to work at a $15 an hour job at Burger King, like I guess, we really got life figured out. But no, I think that like you said, we should be dominating that. I think that's always been the expectation. But I'm expecting a different result here against the US, or at least a different passion, because again, if you look at the US, they had a lot of their young Latino players have that spark, right? They had that drive. They're fast. And so when they were starting out, you were kind of like, man, these kids are fast. These kids are pretty good. And they still didn't get a lot. They still didn't have a lot of like technical uh, play down. But then over the years, they just got better, right? And they improved. So I expect us to do the same.
So that's where we're gonna see, like, just like you said, I love that example you give the US. Hey, they were down, they were embarrassed, they didn't make the World Cup. That was like the low of the low, but they rose up. They came
Hmm.
back and said, all right, we're not gonna have this. Dude, we can Mexicanos, that's our life, isn't it though? Like,
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
push us down, but we stand back up and so let's see what these players are. But to your other question, what do I think about the whole booing and the reaction to players and everything like that? As fans, we're entitled to be frustrated.
Hmm.
We're entitled to get upset. We're entitled to demand more. Now, was it warranted? Should have? I mean, I don't know. I can't talk for those fans that were there, but I know being on the television, I was getting pissed off. I was going, no, this sucks. I mean, what what other way can we show our frustration? We can't go and talk and knock on the door and be like, hey, can I talk to you for a minute? We
Hmm.
can't be caramelo and walking in the elevator and talking to the director técnico.
Hmm.
Um,
Hmm.
so how else can we show our frustration in that way? Or what's the other alternative? Go to Twitter and be that Twitter king, but not many of us have them. I mean, I
Hmm.
think that we just have to let them know somehow, and I think that's the only way. I mean, if they're frustrated or upset about it, then I mean, welcome to sports.
Yeah. Well, I think that they know it. I mean, they know it. It's not like they have no idea that the fans are frustrated. They're frustrated too. I bet you, right? I bet you that they think, hey, we need to score some goals. We need to win some games convincingly because the fan base is going to jump on our ass. That who wouldn't think like that? That's normal, right? Like anybody, you take any team in professional sports, are going to think the same thing. And then again, obviously, the whole it's a cash cow, right? All they want is the money. I truly don't think there might be individuals who have different interests at some points during promotional games, friendlies, etc. But I think overall they really want to succeed. I think they really want to succeed because if they succeed, the team succeeds, then there's more money to be made. I mean, if essentially, look at the Phoenix Rising locally here in Phoenix, right? So they when they first started, they started out strong. Fan base didn't have a lot of winning seasons. Attendance dropped. They struggled for a long time. Drogba came in, was a big star player. Then he started winning some games. And what do you know? They're in the Western Conference Final. The fans are packed. They're there. A couple years later, they don't make it or they fall short. And then the attendance starts to dwindle down. So it's like winning solves everything. Winning solves everything. And I think they know that. I don't, it's hard for me to believe that they would say, screw the fans, just go play. We don't care. They're worried. I truly believe they're worried and they need to find a solution. And
Well,
again,
let's look at the counter, man. I mean, the size of the fan base between the U.S. and Mexico.
hmm yeah.
There's no comparison, dude. I mean,
hmm
honestly, I'm not ashamed. I'm not. This is fact, right? When you
yeah.
look at the stadiums here in the U.S., besides, of course, in Ohio, right? When we're talking about the Cincinnati or Columbus games,
The,
but
the, four, the 4,000 seat stadium. Yeah.
yeah, 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 where they try to be they have to go above and beyond to stop fans from coming
hmm
to Mexico.
hmm
But dude, it doesn't compare. But look at U.S. is showing results. So
Yeah. But
you know,
remember, dude, if you go back, people have short-term memories. If you go back after the 2018 World Cup, and yours is a perfect example, right? We like to, even though there are rivals, we always like to measure ourselves to our rivals, right? Our
yeah,
biggest rivals on the school playground, in the classroom,
prison.
at work, in prison, right? So they were playing friendlies, and the stadiums are empty. No one went, but no one ever really talked about it, right? Because again, the media, I think the Mexican media is so focused and I mean, the selecciones on the microscope that any little twitch or move the wrong way, it just blows up, right? In the US, I mean, they could have a few games with empty stadiums and, you've got a few, legendary commentators like Hercules or that's the
I've seen Lalas.
Lalas, right? Like they're staples, right? They're staples, and they'll comment and whatnot, and they have their fan base. And other than that, that's pretty much it. But I mean, the Mexican media, you've got all Fox, the Univision, Telemundo, you got ESPN, you got all these different areas that are just focused on the selección. So it's everything. It happens a lot, for example, like with teams that are very, very popular, like I'm gonna change sports, like the
Yeah,
Dallas Cowboys, right? The Dallas Cowboys, probably the second, if not the most popular team in professional football, right? People are going to argue that, right?
Oh
Right,
my god,
rightfully
we got
so.
controversy right now.
Rightfully so. But dude, you turn on the news, and it doesn't matter where you're in the country. They're always talking about the Cowboys that they they didn't sign this guy, and this is going on with the owner, and you're in Florida, and they're talking about the Cowboys. You're in Arizona, and they're talking about the Cowboys. So again, the Seleccion is pretty much the same way, right? And they don't talk about the Jaguars or they don't talk about the Cleveland Browns all over the country, only in Cleveland. So again, the media, it's just the Mexican media is just so
Consumed.
focused because that's
Yeah.
they're consumed, that's their passion, and it just any little twitch the wrong way, it just
Well,
blows up.
we had that we were talking about that documentary that came out right before the World Cup, right? I love that conversation we had or what they were talking about that documentary, and I forgot what that was called. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to blank, but he made a good point when he said, "Hey, it's multifaceted, right? It's not just the players. It's like it's a whole mentality
Hmm.
around this because, dude, there's and I imagine other countries are shocked the size of the country that Mexico is, the amount of talent we have, and how really it's really the main sport in the country. Yeah, there's other ones like baseball and a couple other Olympic events and things like that. But dude, that's a sport. That's a national
Hmm.
pastime
Right.
how Mexico hasn't done anything greater than that, right? Compared to other
Hmm.
countries where they're smaller, they still, they don't have the same amount of resources, funding, but they super exceed.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
but it's the fans, it's the media, it's the players, and is the director, the whole federation, right?
Hmm.
Everything there somehow is just are we cursed? Are we just
Hmm.
constantly just
No, no, I think that obviously it takes time. I mean, I mean, and we're like, how long does it actually take to win the fifth game, right? Or to go to the fifth game? Well, shit, it's every 4 years. It's the luck of the draw. I mean, I think a lot of it has to do with, like I say, suerte del campeón. For example, you got teams like Argentina, Brazil, Germany. Those teams, they don't play a lot of friendlies like we do, right? And those particular teams, once they play in the group stage, if you don't get them out of the group stage, hold on to your seats, right? Because they are going to van a agarrar vuelo and they're just going to catch momentum, and those are the teams that succeed, right? There's no reason why we have so many friendlies throughout the year, tournaments, and then hit the ground running during World Cup. We should be like firing on all cylinders, right? But again, there's a lot of different reasons why, and I just think that we there's been times where we've had better teams, and a missed penal or a mistake on the pass or something, kind of has been our Achilles heel, right? The bad luck, right? But
yeah. I mean,
yeah.
again, it's just crazy. I mean, I mean, I don't know. I think our goal, Cornet, is before we leave this earth,
Hmm.
we want to see them succeed and
Yeah.
get it right.
Yeah.
The documentary again was Mexico Campeón del Mundo,
Oh yes.
and the director was Fernando Calif. Man, again, I just the way
That
he
was a
did
great
that.
documentary. I was trying to convince all my friends, watch it, download it, watch it.
Yeah,
And you start watching it and you start believing. It's almost like I'm watching Tony Robbins, right? Like
like
a
a motivation. Yeah,
motivational.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
You know,
totally.
you
And
know
it
what it
makes
was?
perfect sense.
The World Baseball Classic. I think the baseball players saw that video, that documentary, and they got all vámonos.
Dude, I mean, look at what happened. I mean, the World Baseball Classic. I mean, we were able to get as far as we got. And dude, it just caught fire, and people were just dying. We're dying for it. We're
Yeah,
starving for wins, and dude, I mean, we know there's a lot of Mexican baseball fans, but dude, the minute they started winning, it was like, oh, like I said, with for example, like the local teams, if you
yeah.
don't winning solves everything, right? So
Oh, and dude, talk about I mean, I think that revitalized
re-energize.
baseball,
Hmm. Yeah.
right? Because baseball has kind of been like, I mean, some cities and teams are they fill up more, they have more agarre, but this right here, I think I'm like, why don't we dude, that's amazing. That
Dude,
was like the talk of the town, bro. Like,
and even well, obviously the final. If you got a chance to watch the final game with U.S. versus Japan, I mean, it was like a Cinderella,
yeah,
like it was a storyline, right? You had the two teammates, two probably the best players in MLB right now, face each other, and one beats the other to win the tie or to win
yeah.
the championship, bro. And it's like
It's like a
Dude, what
standoff.
else can you ask for, dude? It
It
totally.
reminds me like the Wild West, dude. Like you have like
Yep.
your showdown, listos
Hmm.
para la con la pistola, let's go.
Yep.
You know, it's just
Yeah.
honestly,
Oh, definitely.
I thought the final should. I mean, the final for me was Mexico versus Japan. That game was also
Yeah. That was. Yeah. Exactly, dude. Exactly. All the games are great.
dude. So again,
Okay.
look at that. That's another example of how los Mexicanos like we can rise up, dude. We just have to figure it out, man. And
Hmm.
so you didn't answer the question on your end. What do you think about the fan base and the reaction of the players? So
I I think I think they're quick to judge. You know, I do understand the frustration because I get frustrated myself as well. You
well,
know,
you get booed a
and
lot too.
so
So
yeah, I do, right? But here's the thing that I think about. So they don't really play a lot of games in El Azteca. Well, just the qualifiers or whatnot, right? And the main complaint is why do they not play in El Azteca for friendly games, right? Well, maybe if the fans didn't weren't as critical, or maybe they just had a better, fun time. Maybe they would have more games. I don't know. I just thought they had a golden opportunity. They finally had La Azteca full, tons of fans, and it just went south, bro. The storyline was that was just a bad storyline. To take away finally that they finally had a lot of fans at this La Azteca, and that's what they took away from it. Was the fans booing. You know what I mean?
oh
I don't
man,
like it. And again, I don't know. I don't know. I don't go to many games in the Azteca, right? I've been there, but if you come to a game in the U.S., it's a party atmosphere, right? Depending, and not if you're in PVA section or not, wherever you are, people want to go out and get time because they want to feel like they're in Mexico. That's their pride and their joy. And absolutely, when there's no goals and you don't win, they do get frustrated as well. But I don't think it's as bad unless I'm missing something. I don't know.
yeah, I know. No, I mean, there's the thing about it. I think that's why El Azteca doesn't have that same intimidation anymore for
Yeah.
the opposing fans. I mean, the
Hmm.
last several ones have ended up in ties. You know,
Hmm.
they don't go in fearing playing in El Azteca. I'll
Yeah.
tell you right now, the U.S. players. Now you mentioned it, they're like, yeah, let's go, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I think they're more intimidated playing Mexico here in the states, maybe than they are
Hmm.
in Azteca. But yeah, it could be another conversation for another time.
Hmm.
But let's go
Definitely.
into Mexico, US, Arizona, Phoenix coming up. Again, we're talking about the
Hmm.
weather. The announcement went out about the tickets. How did that go, Cornet? Was it crazy? A lot of people, a lot of interest. What does that look like?
Yeah, like normal, right? As soon as these games are over, I was like, okay, well, this is going to be interesting. Let's see who wants to go. And believe it or not, people were interested, regardless of the two, mediocre showings. They were like, yeah, we're interested. We're going to go, and yeah, they're gearing up. The only thing that made it really really difficult is the fact that it's on a Wednesday during the week. Now, locally, people are taking a day off and they're planning. I mean, the planning that they're doing to go to this game is the response is phenomenal compared to I mean,
The-
compared to a weekend, right?
yeah,
A weekend's going to be even more. But look, we didn't have as many travelers coming in from out of town because it's a work day. But I bet you if it was a Saturday, Sunday, dude, people would fly in because obviously they
yeah.
they, they want to come to the game, and it because the scheduling wise it's convenient. Now brings me to Las Vegas, right? And as soon as the Las Vegas game was announced, my phone was blowing off the hook. I mean, everybody. We had Atlanta, Charlotte, um, Jersey, Virginia, Florida. I mean, they're gearing Tennessee. They're gearing up to fly out all the way to Vegas, right? We got people from Mexico calling me, "Hey, we're going to Vegas." You obviously got Texas, people from AC, California. Like everyone's like going to Vegas now. Is it because it's in Vegas? Yes, it helps.
That
It's a
helps.
plus. It's a help, but it's a semifinal, and against who? The
The US.
U.S. Yeah, we're hungry. We're hungry for that win.
Dude, all right, we have two upcoming games, matches against the US, man.
Mhm.
Are we gonna win one of these finally?
I think we will. I've always had faith. I think we're gonna win it definitely. And
Out of
then we
the
got the
two?
fun. Yeah, I think we're gonna win both.
Out of the 2, which one do you think is the most likely will they'll pull it off?
They're gonna pull off the one that we're gonna surprise everybody, and I think it's gonna be the Vegas game, right? Because we've got this game to prepare, and then we got the Vegas game to go to. So I think that obviously the coach is under scrutiny right now, and they're gonna need to either get some new blood, which I think that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna get some new blood, they might have a little bit of difficult time playing with each other, which I think the U.S. game in Phoenix is perfect for them because it leads right into the semifinal game.
So in other words, what I'm hearing you say that the Phoenix game is a kind of like a test run, a test drive
Hmm.
leading up to the next match.
Yep.
Him an opportunity to experiment with new players to determine, okay, these are the players that I can bring to the next game, along with the whatever starters he wants that weren't
Hmm.
there.
Yep.
Um,
And
okay.
I expect Chicharito to come play in Phoenix and in Vegas.
Well, it
I really
makes
expect
sense.
him
It
to.
makes sense to get Chicharito back acclimated with the team.
Hmm.
Bring his leadership, right?
Hmm.
Bring the seniority that he has.
That passion too, because I mean, and I'm not saying that the players don't have that passion, because I really do think they do have that passion. But again, if you have the leading goal scorer there, still active, pushing you, pulling you, guiding you on the field, maybe they need that leadership on the field. You know what I mean? And I think having him, and like, just like you said, a lot of people would say, why do you carry Guardado for so many years? Because he's been there. His leadership. That's
Yeah,
kind of why he was there. You had the same thing with the older players, right? And
Rafa
in this
Marquez.
case, Rafa Marquez, exactly. So again, you pull in Chicharito because people have been calling for him, right? So you're kind of saying, okay, we're gonna listen to the fan base, and we're gonna bring you Chicharito. So now I think that the pressure now would be on Chicharito, because it's
Yeah.
like now everything's gonna be focused on him. And then if he doesn't score, I knew it. That's why whatever. That's why you're in the MLS. You can only
Oh,
imagine. But I think,
you're already predicting what the outcome is gonna be either way,
oh yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And again, with Chicharito, and then you don't think he's gonna want to prove something? He's definitely gonna want to prove something. He'll come in there, and I have a prediction. He's gonna get in there. He's gonna score a couple goals and be like, "I told you so. You guys left me off the roster. You
Heck
left me off
yeah.
the Sub-17. You left me off the World Cup roster, and this is what you're missing out." Because I think he has a little bit. We have a little bit of Chicharito in all of us, right? If you get passed up for promotion,
Mm,
if a girlfriend leaves you or a boyfriend leaves you, you go, you work out, you get better, you always get better, and you're gonna prove them wrong. And I
yeah,
think he's got something to prove, and I think he's got the fire to do it.
that's a great analogy, dude. So basically, yeah, I see Chicharito being as he got dumped and he's working on his revenge body, you
Yeah.
know?
Oh
He's
yeah.
getting a glow up, trying to be like, "This is why you left me?" Yeah.
Yep. Exactly. You left
No,
me
that's a
for
great.
that.
Yeah, you left me for that? Wow, dude, that's a great example, and I think, as you were saying that, honestly, I think, yeah, a lot of the personality, el ¿cómo te dice? La identidad de la selección mexicana, I honestly feel, I don't know why I keep going back to this, but I feel that it really got lost once Rafa Marquez retired. Like, I don't think we
Hmm.
ever had somebody that replaced him as that,
Hmm.
you know? Chicharito could have
Yeah.
been that person for the World Cup. I truly
Yeah.
believe that could have been the case because Guardado is a great, great leader when it comes in the court, not as vocal, not as when the
Hmm.
rival, because people, dude, when they saw Rafa Marquez come in, like he was like the villain for the US,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, exactly. Just like Donovan is for us, right?
Yeah,
Or was for us, right? Like you see Donovan, you're like, oh, don't score. Oh, you scored. You know what I mean? And it's like that he's that guy that draws the attention. I mean, we need that. I think we need that fire. We need a Cuauhtemoc, right? We need that is fiery on the field. Even though he plays for La America, but
uh-huh,
he takes that pride. Luis
yeah,
Hernandez, they take that pride with them, and you want to see that, and that's we're longing for that. And it's sad that the young generation didn't really get a chance to see these guys play. They were probably younger. They could probably look up on YouTube and watch all that stuff, but it was a different atmosphere a long time ago. And I don't say a long time ago, I know 10, 15 years ago. I don't know. I'm old, so I'm bad with math, but I mean, you look at the old,
been
you
a
look at the
while.
old videos, you look at the old videos in Azteca, and
Yeah,
dude, it is packed, and people are just jumping and going crazy, right?
yeah,
Crazy. And so when you walk to that stadium, you can just hear the crowd, and that fear sets in. Just like when you go to Nicaragua or they go to El Salvador and they play there, it is just packed, and you're like, oh
intimidated,
shit,
yeah,
right, right. And I think that their pride, nationality, their national pride overtakes them, and that's what they go. Hey, we know we're not better than Mexico, but our national pride, we are very prideful, and we're going to show that. And so again, I think that us as a Mexican fan base need to do the same thing, because I look at it as pride, right? People go, why
yeah,
do you spend your money on La Seleccion? I go, well, one, I like football. Two, I love La Seleccion, and
Yeah,
three, I love Mexico. So with
yeah,
me, it's all about it. It goes beyond the sport. It's patriotism, right? It's that's me. That's who I am. That's my blood, right? And so I think if everybody looked at it like that, and I have a friend, Juve, saludos Juve, and he told me one time we chat a lot. He said, you know what gets me? Well, I'm rephrasing it because he told me
yeah,
in
yeah, yeah.
Spanish. He goes, you know what gets me is when we play teams like Guatemala and I don't know, Nicaragua, whoever, right? And, respect to those teams as well, right? But he goes, when we're losing or the crowd starts saying "si se puede, si se puede," he's like, really? Like "si se puede" against like Guatemala or like Nicaragua or like Guadalupe? Like really? Like we have to rally to beat these teams we should be beating the teams anyways. We need to be using those chants against Brazil or against like a
Mm.
Germany or a Spain, right? Because you got to pull everyone together because it's the si se puede against the giant, right? We're the giants, and we're yelling si se puede against I don't know Cesar Chavez High School, right?
Suriname,
Or Mesa,
Suriname, dude. It was like,
no, yeah, and respect to those teams, right? I definitely don't I don't want to disrespect those teams as well, right? But
but
again, like Cuba, right? Like Cuba is clearly a baseball team. They're not a football team. So when we're saying si se puede against Cuba, like really?
no, you make a valid point, dude. It should that should be for those like we're just trying to rally and chant and get them surpass those big giants, right? But
Hmm.
not to like teams that just started playing or teams
Right?
that have no history, haven't made a World Cup. Like that shouldn't be the case, man. It's
Yeah, yeah. And we've gotten to that point now where we need to that rally cry against these teams that haven't even, like you said, made a World Cup appearance.
yeah, or even a gold, even Pio, they haven't made a Gold Cup.
Yeah,
Like they
yeah,
haven't been qualified to make it to the Gold Cup that we have
yeah.
for Coca, which is
Yeah.
crazy.
So have our standards dropped? I mean, no. I mean, I think our standards are still up there, but I mean,
Yeah,
you get what I'm saying, though, right?
yeah. Oh, I get you, man. So, again, just to recap, still too early. We got to give it a little bit of time, but as we know, I mean, if the results keep going where the way they are, I don't see the coach lasting, very long.
Hmm.
I see this turnaround happening sooner than later. I know the push to having director técnico mexicano is constantly being pressured. Um,
Hmm.
but hey, be careful what you ask for. We'll get one, and then maybe the same results. It's just one of the we never know, right?
Yep. Yep. Exactly.
Um, yeah. Other thing too, fan base. I know we're frustrated. I know and same thing with the players. It's just one of those things. Right now, we're in a bad place. We got punched in the mouth several times, and we're in a low right now. We just have to bounce back up, man. We gotta,
Hmm.
as you're finding out, the support's still there. A lot of us, if we truly love Mexico, we're always gonna go see them. We're always
Hmm.
gonna cheer for them.
Hmm.
Just a question of when is it finally gonna click? When are we gonna have the right mix of players, the players that have
Hmm.
the same agarre that can just put it on the court and have that pride to
Hmm.
just to give it all, man. Like, don't hold back. We'll see. A ver qué
Yeah.
pasa.
Because you look at oh man, I lost my train of thought as far as when you're talking about putting it all on the line, right?
Yeah.
Um, shit, I lost my train of thought.
Okay.
I saw a blinking light. So
Speaking of putting it on the line, Fortnite is not putting it on the line in this podcast. He's
no, absolutely
distracted.
not. Yeah,
You
definitely.
talk about a player or a situation. You know what were you thinking about?
No, I don't know. I forgot. Oh, let's
All
talk
right.
about Phoenix, right? Let's talk about the games coming up in Phoenix, right?
Just
So if
yeah, let's talk about that. So what information, I don't think we don't have anything up to date, or just keep it ready on the pages. What do we have so far?
yeah, absolutely. You definitely want to follow the pages. We will update our tail. We're gonna have a tailgate. I've already confirmed with the band. We're in the process of confirming the food, right? So we're definitely gonna have a tailgate. So just be on the lookout for the postings as far as the location. Right now, the first and foremost is to make sure everybody gets their ticket, and then from there we'll be able to post a
Communicate.
tailgate, communicate. And in Las Vegas, we do have a section in Las Vegas. We don't have any details on ticket pricing or when will they be available. But I do want to offer this bit of advice. As soon as the tickets become available, do not wait. They're gonna go fast, like hotcakes, like tamales, like pan, like beer. And so as soon as the tickets go on sale, get ready to purchase now. I would suggest also get a hold of your local battalion captain, right? So if the nearest battalion captain is Reno, Nevada, get a hold of Pedro over there, El Coronel 2.0. You can, if you're in the East Coast, obviously we've got David in Atlanta, we've got Chico in Charlotte, we've got Mario in Nashville. We've got Virginia, Alejandro in Virginia, we've got New York, we've got all the East Coast. Get a hold of your local chapter, and again, that way we can make sure you get your ticket. Um, we'll have tickets available, but
Yeah,
just again, we just don't know. Hang tight. As soon as we find anything out, but the game's in June, right? So we're April, May, June. Yeah, so a few months away. So we still got a little bit of time.
yeah.
Make
Be
your
patient.
preparations. Be patient. Make your preparations. Book your flights. Book your hotel room because we know the dates, and we know that if we will win the semifinal, we'll be playing the final on Sunday. But if for whatever reason the referee decides to stick his nose in there, or it's yellow or red cards, we'll be playing the third place game. You know, but so either way,
Yeah.
we'll be there.
Either way, we'll be out there. Vegas is always a good time. Thank you, Connor, for the updates.
Yeah.
Just be patient. Really, if you haven't even, if you're watching this or you're come across this and you want to join us, you want to start getting for those tickets, just reach out. We'll connect you with somebody out there in the East Coast, the West Coast, wherever you're at,
Mhm.
the state, to
Mhm.
get you hooked up and connected, man.
You can definitely reach us at Villa's Army on Instagram, Pancho Villa's Army on Facebook, and my
And
Instagram right here, my handle. You can contact me directly. I usually use Instagram more than I do Facebook, so please be patient. Instagram is probably the one that I'll probably answer the quickest. And if you need my phone number, we're not going to post this, but just hit me up and I will personally send you my phone number. And again, phone call away or text away, super quick to respond.
so again, Connect's number is 623 hot Phoenix at.
La finiquera.
All right, man. Well, again, Conan, thanks for jumping on. Thanks for the updates. Thanks for your thoughts and your quick takes on what's been going on. We're planning on trying to get some more guests and more folks coming joining us. So be ready for some more episodes leading up to the game here on the 19th of April
Absolutely.
against US. So more content coming your way. So thanks again. Hasta la próxima. Aquí desde Phoenix, Arizona, which is not hot right now. It's
Thank
gorgeous.
God.
Until next time.
Adios.
Bye bye.
And when I feel like this, I'm immortal. When I feel like this, I'm immortal.